All right, coming up now, this is pretty interesting, very interesting. Now this is going to surprise you. The statistic, there's 21 million homes in the U.S. that will be invaded by rodents this winter. I know it sounds strange, but I want to introduce you to Mark Shetterly, from Critter Control. How are you doing, Mark?
Doing great, Tommy. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
You're going to bring us some real insights on what's happening in our homes, and we don't even know it. But first, Mark, tell me who Critter Control is.
Tommy, Critter Control basically is a construction company with a wildlife face. Client has a animal in their attic, in their home, and on their property. They give us a call. We go out, we assess the damage, and then we go from there into fixing that damage. So at the heart and soul, we really are a construction company, but our in is through wildlife because it is an epidemic, especially in the DFW area.
Well, there's really some shocking statistics. As I just told you, 21 million homes will be invaded across the country this winter. How many homes are affected today with some kind of rodent problem?
Just in the DFW area alone, Tommy, at least 80% of the homes that we go into do have rodent damage. And so it is quite extensive in our local area right here.
Wow. And I have a home. We all have homes, and that's a pretty scary thought. So tell me, what are the signs that we look for?
Sure, any kind of scratching, any kind of bad smells possibly, anything that's going on that's unusual, and surely even a sighting inside the home or anything in the attic, certainly give us a call. Droppings is a sure giveaway, and any kind of digging around the home is another type of an issue that would certainly lead us to believe an animal has been there and probably in the home.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. I know I've heard lots of stories. Are there any real 911 problems when people call?
We've come across quite a few. Actually, we had an individual, it was out in the Weatherford area, in Springtown actually, and he called us regarding a snake in his front yard. Went out, got up underneath the home, and when we left, we had 13 copperheads when we left.
Did he have children?
Yes, they actually did move out for a few days until we got the issue resolved, and then came back in from there. So it is quite extensive. I've had housewives give me a call from hotels saying, "We have moved out, honey, and when you get these rodents out of the house, we'll be back."
I believe it. Tell me what makes the difference between Critter Control and your competition.
Sure. We've been in business since 1983, so we've been doing this for 34 years. We've got a long track record. We can stand behind our warranty, and that's exactly what we have over competition. I know most of my competitors. They're wonderful guys and wonderful people, and they've been doing this for a few years, but we can certainly stand behind something we've been doing for a very long time. We are the nation's #1 wildlife control firm.
So I've seen your ads on Facebook. I have to tell you, they're dramatic. It's hard to take your eyes off that video. Tell me about that marketing strategy in reaching the Facebook.
Sure. This is a personal issue. Anytime there's a rodent in the home, on the property, it gets very personal very quickly. And so the Facebook is a great place to go. We've got people there talking to each other, passing along information from one friend to another. And of course, the behavioral algorithms of Facebook are just fantastic. So definitely a great place to go to get our story heard and for awareness in our local area.
So you talked about wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some of the ideas of things that people call you out for. Are there things that they shouldn't call you out for? They should call animal control, or what is that big difference?
Sure. The difference is dogs and cats. We do not do that. But certainly anything regarding mice, rats, possums, raccoons, squirrels, anything of that nature on the property, inside the home, certainly give us a call.
Fantastic. We're going to go to a break here, and we'll be right back with CEO Money and Mark Shetterly with Critter Control Thank you so much, Mark. This segment was sponsored by Tycon Partners. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We're here with Mark Shetterly from Critter Control. We've been getting caught up on the wildlife. Mark, so glad to have you here. So, you did some amazing things with Critter Control. You took it over 7 years ago. Is that what
Yes, 2010.
Yes, you built that business and built it up by 400%. It's remarkable growth. Tell me about your strategy in doing that.
Tommy, it's hard to believe back in 2010 that we were actually still using phone books and print ads, magazines, and door hangers. And when we switched over from that to a pay-per-click campaign and SEO campaign, we started to get relevant phone calls. And the phone calls were the phone calls we've been looking for, the clients that we've been looking for. So very specific and detailed designed and demographically pointed towards who we want to call us and the clients that are out there. And so we went from that to the new advertising campaign. We started to take off. We actually grew the company from right around $2 million to 5 times that amount in 18 months. And also we went from 12 employees to 85 employees in 18 months. So we had exponential growth, and it was a wild ride. It still is.
Well, that's very exciting, and especially for you. But the guy that you bought the business from, he's probably going, wait a minute.
I think he's been sore ever since. Good guy, though. Very good guy.
It just shows you, and we've been talking to CEOs, all day, and that's what we do on this show. And it's phenomenal to see how you can come in and turn a business around, and it just takes some logical thinking. You understand socially what's happening in the country, and obviously, I don't know. I hadn't seen a phone book in probably I don't even know how many years.
They're doorstops today.
They are doorstops. One of the but that's an amazing story. But you have so many. Really, what we really want to hear about are the rodents, the animals, the things that you find in these homes. Can you tell us some fascinating stories?
Well, there is quite a few of the same, I would say.
Yes.
We've come into quite a few residential properties that are certainly infested and at that level of rodent damage and traffic. And so I've been in several homes where, and this is kind of hard to say on air, but it's hard to find the insulation. Oh. The insulation is actually completely and totally covered in animal droppings. And so that's what we do. We go in. It looks like an asbestos abatement. And our guys will go in with the white suits, the respirators, booties, gloves, and certainly pull all of that out, decontaminate, and blow back in new insulation.
So let me ask you, in a situation like that, does that homeowner, how do they not know that there's some sort of issue when you've had that much infestation?
It's similar to the frog in the boiling pot of water. Hard to understand, but it is very true that if you live with this and it is a gradual infestation continually growing over the years, that the smell, for example, will just kind of get used to that. You just kind of, it's odd, but it is true. Now, we can tell when we're coming up to a home pretty much what we're about to walk into, but the client a lot of times do not have the same sensory perception that we have when we're walking in for the first time.
And then people are also just trying to be polite by not telling them that your house smells.
Well, we don't want to go there, but we certainly can prove out what is going on in their home. And that's what we're all about. We're not there to shame. We're there to fix.
Of course.
And we're going to prove out exactly what's going on in the home, show the pictures, take the client with us through the home, showing them exactly what's happening.
So I guess that's kind of the misunderstanding here, because people would think that you're gonna come in, put a couple traps, you're going to catch the rats or mice or those rodents and get them out, and it's over. But there's still this huge mess. You can get them out. How do you keep them out? And then how do you decontaminate that?
Sure.
So important.
Absolutely. And trapping is not going to fix the problem in most cases. So what we want to do is go into the home, actually take out the nest of the animal, if need be, and put in a new insulation product. But at the same time while we're doing that, We have another team on the exterior actually sealing the entire exterior of the home. All the cracks, crevices, anything that's a quarter-inch or more, we're going to make sure that that's all sealed up tight.
That's fantastic. Listen, this has been very interesting information, and I really appreciate you being on the show. Tell us how people can reach you at Critter Control.
Well, that's the advantage we have here, Tommy. 1-800-CRITTER or www.crittercontrol.com.
There you go. Mark Shetterly from Critter Control brought us up to speed on the rodent life in our homes. Boy, fascinating information.